Hello, this is Scott Wultors, and I'm showing you my project for distance education that I created on Schoology. So right here is where all my content is going to be for what I'm going to go over with you today. It's my folder for my module 1. In theory, when we would design this, I would have 5 module folders. So I basically did a lot with module number 1. The assessments that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on actually are right here for the learner. So they can actually go right to the assessments themselves. I'll show you where this is. And this is what I've created for each piece. The objectives that I want them to learn for each module is listed right here, and you will see them listed again in another place. And like I said, in this module, you will learn how to post class notes, unit calendars, tutorial videos, link for your websites, and generate assignments through the schools of Schoology. So if we'll go ahead and click on this folder, we will see that I try to implement a lot of different multimedia stuff. So this video that you would click on is an overview, a very fast overview of what's going to be in this module. I have posted that on the project page, so you can see that if you want to. So you can see it on your own and kind of skim through and stuff like that. So I've split this into parts, 3 particular parts. And so I have part 1 where I'm actually just looking at creating files and links. Here are the instructions. It says you will view the content on how to create files and links through either PowerPoint or full page design. And that's what I use to demonstrate that to them. Then once they've completed the module, they're going to have a small assessment. So this is letting them know what they're going to be expected to do to complete this part of the module. And then the objectives that I've listed here are the exact same objectives that I had on the first page. I can go ahead and go down to the second part, and you will see the exact same thing. I have instructions again that they're going to be able to create assignments for the students and be able to post these assignments online where students can submit them virtually. And then once they've done that, I try to mix it up a little bit. And instead of having them do assessment, they're going to have to show that they can create their own personal assignment that they're going to be present to their class. And again, the objective that you see here was the objective that was posted on the first page, right at the folder. Then part 3 is the creating the assessments. The way that I would design the rest of these modules is I would have a full module on assessments because there's just so much to cover. So this is I called it module number 2. I have a list of the modules in my evaluation that I'll talk about later. And basically this is for you to see again what the instructions are, that I want them to complete this module by giving me a miniature assessment and then basic one. And then again, the objectives that you see here are going to be what was on the first page. And then I'm going to get to the end of the video. I'm going to talk about the additional resources that I have for you, and then the evaluation that I've created for the learner to verify that they enjoyed this and what kind of corrections we can make or modifications we can for that. So let me go ahead and go back to number 1. And I try to keep some pictures and some stuff here to make it kind of interesting. So for each of these modules, you're going to see that for part 1, I have what I think is probably the easiest one to do, which is going to be the PowerPoint that you're going to see here. So it says module 1, part 1, we're creating files and links. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this. They can also download this in their own browser if they want to. So let me go through this. So this is the PowerPoint where they can just go step by step by step. And so module 1, that's always going to be at the top of the page. And then part 1 is creating files and links. I even did a system here where if they just want to go to links, they can go straight to slide number 9. And so for question number 1, these are screenshots. So what I'm going to show you next is going to be the pages that have all the stuff in them, where it's all in one slide. But right now, this is just how to upload a file, a PDF, and Word document. I'm not going to read all of this to you. You can absolutely pause it if you want to, or if you have any questions, please let me know. But this is exactly what it is. I did screenshot every single thing that you see here in these problems. So go to add material, go here to files and stuff like that. So I want to not be completely boring with this video. So you can, if you need to pause it, look at it. But basically what I do is I'm just screenshotting what steps they need to do when they're on Schoology. The video that I talked about at the beginning of this video, the one that was at the very top, I'll show you again in a minute, actually has this in a video format. very quickly for them if they need to see a visual aspect of it, but I don't go into too much details with that because I didn't want the video just to be like their selling point, because I want them to be able to go through the steps individually. So this I did add some steps, some boxes here. I kind of gave it like a Virginia Tech color here on, you want to select multiple files, then let's look at the next slide. So then we go to the next slide. And we can highlight. So I have like right here in the, I try to keep the colors highlighted here. You can highlight multiple files and then open them all at once. And so this is just something that I decided to do here. And then again, you can see that I strategically placed my mouse, my cursors over what you need to press, which again, teachers, they know what to do with that. They know to press open. And then again, it's going to show you that this is what's happened. You want to attach this file. It's going to show you the file here. And then I also did, versus adding one file versus adding multiple files. So this would be the screen that they would see next. If they want to do one file, I even said in the video that they get to go ahead and attach another file here if they want to. And so then, again, this is a PowerPoint that they could download and print and whatever they want to do with this. But then this is what's going to happen next. So this is the creating the file part one, where, okay, now it's here. And then we talked about this is going to be all the options. And so down here at the bottom, and I try to, again, get some color into this. Okay, if we want to edit it, what does the edit mean? And this is the diagram, or sorry, this is what the wording is for this. And then I'm going to go ahead and do, okay, well, let's look at, I just zoomed out. I didn't mean to do that. Zoom back in, sorry. So then I can say, okay, well, now let's go to creating a link. And again, this is slide number 9. And if you go back to the first slide for a second, you would see that, okay, well, I want to look at a link and go straight to number 9. So that's what we're going to do. And so it's the same thing as before. And again, I encourage you, if you want to pause and just look at these things, but it's the slides that I'm going to do here. And I'm going to show them to you because I did take a lot of time working on this stuff for them. So again, we're creating a link now. So we have the same fixture. We're going to go click to the link feature. And then, here's what it's going to look like. Here's kind of what an example would be here where you post your link and stuff like that. And then, add things. And then the last step of this particular part is going to be, again, sharing, being able to edit it by doing all the stuff that you see right here. So this is my PowerPoint, which again, I think would be really helpful for teachers who just need to, not feel overwhelmed with stuff like that. And then what I did do, so that's the PowerPoint. So then I said, okay, well, if you just want to learn how to upload a file. And so what you just saw here is now all on one page. So I just did, again, I try to keep it where it was easy to follow. So this is the page that I created for this, where I highlighted everything for them. And every slide that you saw in the PowerPoint is now here in one document. So they can print this and they can follow along if they want to. I try to give options with this project that, depending on, do you want to do a PowerPoint? Do you want it on different slides? Because this right here may be completely overwhelming to some people that, oh my God, this is too much information. So can I just look at it individually? So again, I was trying to think about different types of learners and what they like, but every single slide that you saw through the PowerPoint is here in, like I said, one document. But this is just for how to add files. Because again, I didn't want to be too crazy with everything here, but all I did is really screenshot each individual step. I tried, again, incorporate color at times. You will notice that I do, like, for steps, I always highlighted the steps for them, so it kind of separated. Because again, it's a little overwhelming if you're not used to this, but I just thought it'd be an easy way to print this out for them to see it. But this is all the documents stuff that you see for the files. And then I can really quickly go through here again and show you that I did the exact same thing for creating a link. So this is, again, all on one page. So you just have to scroll down and see exactly the slides themselves. So I'm hoping that I'm going slow enough for you to see this, that I'm not boring you with a lot of the stuff, because it is pretty self-explanatory. So this is just something that a learner can do to go through the stuff and see if they can do it themselves. And then hopefully after they're done with these things, then they can go to the assessment that I've created. I do want to just say really quickly, I'll go back to it in a second, that I did post a deadline for this, which is next Friday. And what you're seeing right now is my design. So now this is what the learner is going to see. So this is going to be what they are going to see. So as soon as they click that link, this is what's going to pop up. It's a very short little, please complete this assessment to show you a full understanding of the content for Module 1, Part 1. So this is just for Module 1, Part 1. And so you can see that I'm giving them a ton of chances to do this. So the max was 20. I just decided 19. I don't know why, randomly 19 attempts. When they do the problem set themselves, so I'll show you what the questions are. So I did create 5 questions, 5 little mini questions. You know, when you delete a file or a link from your folder, but the file or link is also in another location of Schoology, then the file or link is deleted completely, and that is a false statement. So here they can start writing some stuff down if they want to, as far as comments are concerned that I can see for them. They don't have to. And we're going to then go to next. And then I did not do just true false, but these questions are, I think, in order. When you are uploading a file or to post to Schoology, then you can upload only one file at a time. That is also a false statement. And so this is what they would do. And then once a file has been uploaded, which of the following can't you do to the file? So you can look at all the choices here for multiple ones, and then the answer is going to be down here. So again, if you want to pause it and read it, you absolutely can. So they would do this. And then this one, he says, if you want to share this file or link to others in your department, you can share the content by, again, just showing them different ways, because the assessment thing, there's many different ways we can do this. This answer will be resources. And then when are you copying your link to be posted to Schoology? What other piece of information? So again, just trying to keep everything a different format for them to see this. And the answer to this is going to be the title you want the link to be named. Now, they can go and look at review for this, like which questions have been answered. They can go back to 4 and stuff like this. Now, unfortunately for this, I can't show you. So they would obviously then push submit, and then they would see, and again, because I'm not a student, I can't show that to you right now, so I apologize about that. But if they would do submit, they would see the scores, how many they got right out of 5, and then they would have some feedback on those 5 things. And which is be really nice. And then the goal here would just really be to get them to have all 5 points, and they can do it as many times as they want to. But this is the assessment that I created for that. And it actually will score it. So the cool thing about this is that in my setup for this, I have that I will get the highest score. So if they do it the first time and get a 4, they do it the second time and they get a 3, then I will still have the 4. So they will be able to do the highest score. And then when they get to a 5, they will be good. And, you know, it could be something where I could add even in here, in order to be completed, I should actually say that, like, you know, completion grade of 80% is sufficient to move on. So actually, while I'm doing this video for you, I thought that would actually be really good. So that would be an end goal for the student to have. And then again, since I did that, if I go back to preview, you will see that it should be there somewhere. Maybe I need to save it. Oh, I didn't save it. Sorry. Go down here, save it, and then preview. It's right here for them to see. Okay, so that is my first thing on part 1. So in my modules for part 1, you can see all of these problems. And then I really kind of did the same thing for the other parts. So I'm going to try to go a little bit faster, but still you'll understand what's going on. So for this one, I did the same thing. I did a PowerPoint for now creating assignments. And, you know, again, they can download these things right here, by the way. So they can, you know, do that. And another module may tell them that, hey, there it is for them to do their things. And so creating assessments, and then each of this, I keep zooming in, sorry. So then I did the screenshots for everything that they can just do for step by step. So this is how to create an assignment. I did add some more stuff to the PowerPoints because, you know, when I show you the actual full screen of this, again, it can be a little crazy with these things, but you know, this is where you want to go to the name and description. We'll look at slides 4 and 5. You want the extra resources. Well, that didn't say extra resources on the screen, so I was just going to point to what that was. That's slide 6, and then all the things from assignment to applications all the way down to learning objectives are slides 7 and 8, and then the options here would be slide 9. And I just put right here that this is what the screen's going to be when they do click on the Add Assignment tab there. So in slides 4 and 5, I do talk about exactly what you just see. I just talk about the name and the description of this process. And I do decide that over here, you can look at the videos, links, symbols. I do talk a little bit more about this in the video. So I do see that I do believe that most of these things are common sense. I've already talked about a link. in the previous module. So that was my idea with this. If they click a symbol, and this could be something that I could go into a little bit more detail as well. I could say, okay, well, here's what an example of a symbol is going to look like. Here's an example of an image. So there's more that I could do to this if I really wanted to, use this even more. But most common sense, if you click on image, it's going to pop up to find the image and stick it right there. So I'm hoping that most of my teachers would know this kind of stuff, but it would be nice to have it in there. But like I said, in the video that I did post these little how-to things. I did explain down here again what these 3 boxes are, box 1, 2, 3, and 4. Looking at this now, I could have probably done a little bit more and actually labeled this as box 1, box 2, box 3, and box 4, so they can see what these things are for them. But again, there's a lot more work I would absolutely do to this. I just want you to get an idea of kind of my thought process on what's going on with this. And then this is the part about assignment from applications down to learning objectives, and it says descriptions are the next slide. So this would be kind of one where, then I say, hey, here's a little mini screenshot of it. Here's all of my things I want to do. So maybe looking at the overall piece of paper versus the slideshow would be kind of better. Or I would suggest that teachers could use 2 monitors to do this. A lot of us have 2 monitors now because of the distance learning aspect of it. But this is the introduction to what's going on here. And then at the very end, I talk about the options, slide number 9. And again, I try to use some color with this. So it's okay, well, what does the 3 dots mean? And then when the colors are different colors, what are they? What's the green dot mean in the screen? And here it is right here, the pie chart, which you can't really see here. So again, I would probably try to make that a little bit better. And then what's the discussion bubble? So again, pause it if you need to read the stuff. And then this is a creating assignment. So this is everything's been filled in. So I've actually showed an example of what's going on. We talked about this assignment right here. And the last thing is, all right, here's what it's gonna look like. And then what I end up doing here is, we want to talk about more resources. So if you click this, I don't know if it's going to work here. It should work. Oh, because I'm recording the video. It's not letting me actually on the website. But if you click on this, it actually would go to another resource page. So hopefully that, I don't know why that's not working. I think it should. But okay, so that is my PowerPoint. And very quickly for this one, it is here. And so, like I said before, I'm not going to try to bore you with a lot of this stuff, but this is going to be the exact same thing as all the slides before. They're just all in one piece of paper. So if the teacher wants to print this out, they can do that instead of the PowerPoint. So it's all right here for them. And so this is my resource that's on this page. So now, of course, it's working. So this goes, okay, do you need more help with assignments on Schoology? So I got this. I did put this on my project. I did reference this website on my project to talk about, okay. And then the funny thing is when I'm looking at this, it actually kind of does this kind of same thing I did with a little bit more descriptions. And I do like that they have the little videos right here. So I can't take credit for that. That's from the Schoology page. And so I also decided to put it here. Again, it should have worked on my PowerPoint. I'm not sure why it did not do that. So I would have maybe one of my coworkers go through this project as in the readings and say, okay, well, that link didn't work, so let's fix it. And then I have it right here as well. So this is another link that goes back to the same website. If you click on it, it goes, Schoology does this sometimes. You actually then have to click the link and then it goes into it. So that would be another good discussion to have with my learners about this kind of stuff. So this is what I would have them do. So as again, a assessment element to this. Did you understand how to do this? So clicking on this. Now this is actually something that they would somewhat see. And so over here, instead of saying submission, so this is what the teacher would see. So I can see who's done it, who hasn't done it. But they would actually see the actual thing. Please screenshot an assignment you create, and then they would have a submission button. That's right here. So again, I really wish I had students in my class so I could actually assign this to a student so you could see that. But it would actually have a submission button for the students to see, and they would just click that button, and then they would open up a screen that would say, okay, you want to do it as a file or whatever you want to submit it as, and then they can just submit it, and then I would see it right here. So this is just their understanding of that. So that's the second part of Module 1. And then the third part, again, is pretty similar to the other ones. Again, oh, this is the video I was talking about that's right here. That's on YouTube, so I can just show you this really fast. I did post this for you in my project, so you can look at it. You know, you don't have to look at every single thing. Really quick little, let me mute myself here. But it just goes to just shows like what the stuff is. So, and this is very, very, very fast. So, you know, I don't think that a person can learn directly from just watching this video, but it's a brief overview of what it is. And like I said, I've given you the link in the project, and it's right up here for them to do. And the last one here is the assessment part. I did an introduction because this becomes very, you know, crazy what's going on. But same old stuff with this. I did another thing with these. I try to keep the things a little different with this. So this is the screenshots for creating an assessment, what to do with it for each one of the problems that you see. I do talk about this a little bit on the video about, you know, how you can enable it where only students have access to this test at certain times, so they can't go browsing it the night before and see what kind of questions are on it and stuff like this. I do keep adding more stuff here, like the next box will show you the other options that you can do with these things. So this is the setup one. And like I said, I would do, again, I added all of this. So this is not on the full page because I had some room to do it here. So I add these little possible things for more clarification for the learners on what to do with these problems. And then this talks about, you know, here are the type of questions you would see. My goal would be for module 2 that you really get into the, you know, the breakdown of these questions themselves. And then we talk about grading here, and then we do talk about, okay, over here there's this action button thing. So then what does this mean? Again, I would say module 2 would do that. So this is just a very brief introduction to this assessment. And then this is just a BC question that I pulled that I gave to my students last year as, okay, when it's done, when all is said and done, this is going to be the question that you would see. And this is a fill in the blank drop down problem, as you would see right here, where they had the options to do that. So that's going to be my PowerPoint for this. And then you would see the page that had everything to it. So this is going to be them all together. If they wanted to print this out, you kind of know the drill now with this. So it's all of this information of like all the, you know, stuff. Like I don't have the boxes here that's on the PowerPoint. So, you know, I think the PowerPoint, most people would choose that, but some people like this list of things where it's all in one little sheet. I really do wish that I could like break them apart, like draw lines on there. And I probably could have done that. And I probably, now looking at this again, maybe one of my colleagues would say, you know, can you break this up even more and make like lines? And I probably would do something like that. So, you know, even as I'm looking through this now, there's a couple things I think I could edit and make it like a little bit better. And so what I would have them do is create their own assignment. So this is, create their own assessment. And so I have some stuff here on, okay, what would we like to see? And so you need to create an assessment of your choice. And then it's going to be, these are at least the 5 questions. And then this would be right in the comment box, the parameters of your assessment. So the comment box would have these questions that you see here. And again, if you want to pause it, I don't need to read these to you, but if you want to pause it and read them, you're welcome to do so. And then they can submit this. And again, just like before, I would see that the submission would be right here. I can look at it and then I can comment on it, which would be also really cool. And I think the comment feature would be something that I would suggest, that I would talk about in another module, because I don't want to do this. Most of this module is really just how to create things easily for my students or their students to learn. And so that's going to be my part 3. And so you can see that for parts 1, 2, and 3, they're pretty similar in the thing. I have the video, I've got the PowerPoint, and I've got the full page for these things. I try to be as good as far as, you know, instructions and objectives without being too much with reading too much of this. And then the additional resources. So here you can find the synchronous schedule. So I talked about this in many of my lessons when I posted my information to you. I was talking about, you know, well, what if they need a little bit extra help, more resources, and then the evaluation. And I actually put training here. So if they don't even want to go into this folder, it's going to be right here for them. So if I go into this, then I created 3 things. So this is the evaluation of the training. So this is going to be I gave you the link to this. I will try to make sure I do this when I submit the project. But this is going to be the link to the evaluation. So it's going to be, here's all the modules. So this is assuming that they're done with the whole thing. But this is going to talk about, I'm going to post this for all the modules. This is after the modules are done. All 5 of them. I was going to do one on just module 1, but I was like, no, I want to just see like, well, what would they do as far as the overall program itself? Because I think we had to do this for one of our lessons. So I think this is why I just incorporated it here. So I believe that you have this, but I'll make sure I'll post it again on my project. So then this was just a little page. I just, I took some teachers that I teach with, and, I was like, okay, well, again, visually, I want to say, okay, well, if you want to learn more about module 1, then come talk to me. And then I'm available synchronously through the Zoom. And then it's okay, well, if people do not like this, if they don't like it like this, then maybe they'll like the schedule here. So it's the exact same schedule without the teachers on, okay, well, I know that module 1 is going to be on Friday. And then general is all. So I gave my my coworker, Miss Suck, she knows everything about this here. So these are the dates and times that the teacher will be available. And I said, okay, then link to the sessions are here. This is the Zoom phone, the Zoom link that I have. And I also put the Zoom link just because maybe people don't scroll down. Maybe they just look to right here and they see this. So if you look back, I also have the Zoom link that's right here for them to look at the questions. And obviously I would have to design this and make sure that I launch a meeting that will be something that they can do with what's going on. I think that's what I've done. I hope I've given you everything that I worked on here. So if I missed something, please let me know so I can add more to it. But this is the idea again for Schoology. I did where it's the, and mine's in my personal folder because I don't have other things here. But this is what I've done. I hope that it's good. I tried my best to do what I could with all these problems. And, hopefully if you have any questions or any more comments, please let me know so I can modify or clarify whatever questions that you may have for me on these problems. But I try to, like I said, keep it light. All of my colors of my folders are different, so I don't know why I just do something like that. But anyways, I think that's it. So that's my project. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you very much.